Hello friends, welcome to the Trading Temple channel. Today we're going to look at the Avalanche and ICP charts, and we'll also take a look at Bitcoin. Today is Tuesday and almost the entire crypto market has dropped by about 5%. Bitcoin itself has dropped 2.5% and has pulled the market down with it. You're looking at the Avalanche chart. The price of Avalanche is close to $17. As you can see, after we discussed this support level, Avalanche had a very nice bounce in these areas, and its price managed to grow by about 23% and move up. But what we didn't see in Avalanche when the price went up in this section was that it didn't have a very large volume. Unlike some coins, for example, like NEAR protocol, which had such volume, Avalanche didn't have that kind of volume. Similarly, for example, with ICP, it also had a small bounce in price, but didn't deliver a strong price to the market. Some coins, during what happened here, were able to fill this gap, like NEAR protocol. But Avalanche couldn't go much higher than this part, and now it's being rejected and is heading lower. What's important for Avalanche is, as I mentioned before, the support level is very important. It needs to hold this area, which is around $15. It has to maintain this level. If it loses it, there's nothing to stop it. The price can't hold and will likely drop, and Avalanche's price could even go down to $10. In the short term, if this level holds, I think there's still a chance for Avalanche to bounce back and maybe fill this gap in the near future. But it's a bit complicated and difficult because there are a lot of different resistances in this area. And if we switch to the 4-hour time frame, you can see that if we draw a trend line from here to this area, there's a trend line here, and also a short-term resistance has formed in this area. It has to break through all these levels to be able to reach this area and fill this gap. But some coins have managed to do it, like ICP, whose price exploded. It went much higher, even surpassed the gap, and broke through most of its resistances to the upside and kept going up. And also NEAR protocol, which managed to fill this gap, but Avalanche couldn't do this. We'll have to see what happens to this coin in the near future, in the next few days. Can the crypto market hold itself in this area and not let Bitcoin drop lower? Because as we said about Bitcoin, Bitcoin has a very sensitive support level, and it shouldn't break the $100,000 support level. Later, at the end of the video, I'll show exactly where Bitcoin support is located. Now let's also take a look at the ICP chart. We've talked a lot about ICP recently. The price shot up sharply after it went up by 250%. The price dropped from around $10, falling by 36% so far. And for now, there's no reason to worry about ICP, because ICP has now almost touched this very beautiful and very strong support level. Now we need it to show a good reaction from here. Usually the reactions it shows here, there's a strong chance, about 70 to 80%, that it could have a bounce at this point. With this bounce that happens in this area, it comes up to this point for now. In the next round, it might come down again to this area, for example, to test it one more time. But if it comes down, it shouldn't go below this area. That is, if such a situation occurs, this support level will be lost and the price of ICP will move lower, heading towards $4.50. This support level that we've been talking about for several days now is around $6 to $6.50, and it's very important for the price to hold here. Personally, I think there's a bounce for now, but let's see what kind of reaction we get. If there's a good bounce, you should also pay attention to the volume at the same time. We need big green volumes to crush these red volumes and push the price up. If there's no volume and it's just a small bounce that comes here, there's a chance that in the next round we'll go down again. So let's see what happens in the next few days. If it can hold this area and move up without dropping below this price, there's a strong chance it can break the resistance at $10 and move up to the next resistance, which is around $12.50. For now, nothing is certain. Nothing has been confirmed yet either. ICP hasn't shown any good volume in this area, not even on the 4-hour time frame. But on the 4-hour time frame, what's interesting is that when the price went up, the volume increased sharply, and when the price entered a 36% correction, the volume gradually decreased. This means that the market is still in the hands of the buyers and they are controlling it. If we see a shift in this area and notice that buyers return and the volume goes up again, And if we see a good reaction here in this area, it's possible that ICP's price could explode and head towards $12.50. We have to see what happens to this coin in the near future. For now, keep an eye on the $6 price to make sure it doesn't drop below that. All right, let's also look at the Bitcoin chart, because Bitcoin is really important for altcoins if altcoins want to have good performance. As you can see, Bitcoin had a support level that lasted for several months. Here you can see that it touched this level several times. It had some pretty good reactions up until the point where it broke this multi-month support level and hit the $100,000 support level, and then had a very nice bounce. This pattern is a classic one in price action, where after losing the support level, it drops down to test the next support, and now the support that was lost is being tested as resistance. And it's very important for Bitcoin to be able to get back above this resistance, but the chances are a bit low. Usually it gets rejected on the first touch. On the second touch, it might be able to break through this resistance. This resistance can be estimated to be roughly between $108,000 to $110,000, and then it could move above that. As long as it's below this resistance, the likelihood of it going lower is higher. That's why altcoins aren't performing well. If Bitcoin drops again and heads toward $90,000, because the next support level for Bitcoin is almost near $90,000, and at the same time, we've talked several times about this weekly moving average for Bitcoin. It's the 50-week moving average, this green line that you see. This has given Bitcoin a good reaction several times and has led to strong moves, even pushing Bitcoin into new all-time highs. So it's very important that this 50-week moving average holds here. And interestingly, every time it breaks below it, it enters a bear market. You can see that in 2022, when this 50-week moving average was broken to the downside, Bitcoin entered a bear market, and the same thing happened in 2018. It's very important that Bitcoin can hold itself at this level and get back above this resistance that it has just touched and been rejected from. If it manages to get back above this resistance, it will lead to better performance for altcoins until the end of the year. But it's a very difficult task. That was today's video about Avalanche ICP, and we also took a look at Bitcoin. I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe, and don't forget, trading is never 100% certain. Everything is based on probability. Until the next video, goodbye.